6 hits right now, leading the major leagues, and it could be his 9th consecutive year where he has 200 hits or more. He's the only player in the modern era to do that in 8 straight. But of course, to give the devil its due, he has some extra games in this day and age of 162. So Ichiro, only 5'9", but a big man for the Mariners, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Ichiro, back in 2004, had 262 hits. In 2001, he had 242, and he promptly bangs one down the right field line and steams into second base with a double. What a remarkable hitter he is. That would be his 14th double. He is now hit in 10 straight, and the Mariners start off in the right direction with a double, and that'll bring up Russell Branyan. Ground ball just inside first and down the line. So with Ichiro at second base, nobody out, Russell Branyan will be the hitter. As far as Eric Milton is concerned, Joe Torre said before the game, we'll look at the 5th and 6th innings, and it will depend on how his command is early. Well, right now he surrendered that command to Ichiro, and here is Russell Branyan, the big left-hand hitting first baseman, 1 for 4 last night. Big swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. Branyan hitting 300 with a lot of power. He has 18 home runs, 36 runs batted in. The Dodgers and the Mariners over the years in interleague play have played 20 times, and they've each won 10. Milton will look back at Suzuki, back with a fastball swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. Suzuki does everything well, and of course he can afford to take a fair lead. It's up to Rafael Furcal to take a step away from him. He's stolen 13 out of 18. Blake in the neighborhood at third with a left-hand hitter up there, and the strike 2 pitch on the way. Milton is set, very deliberate, comes to the plate, half swing, and down goes Branyan, striking out. For Branyan, remarkable that he's hitting 300 because he has struck out 72 times. Let's take a look at the Dodgers defensively. Pierre, Kemp, and Ethier in the outfield, with Blake, Furcal, Hudson, and Loney on the infield, and the battery of Milton and Martin. Adrian Beltre coming up and definitely paying in pain. His left shoulder is killing him. He has bone spurs there. He had surgery a year ago, and they said once in a while the problem could come back, and it's his bad luck. It has come back. So Beltre really hurting. For all we know, this could be his last game played this year. They are talking about surgery as he takes a pitch low, ball 1. Beltre wants to just keep on playing through the pain, hitting 260, 5 home runs. Don Wakamatsu said, I heard that he's a tough guy, and now I know he's a tough guy. And talking about Beltre, the 1-0 pitch on the way, and the fastball is lifted foul down the right field line, well out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Adrian, of course, is a long way away from 2004, when he had 48 home runs for the Dodgers, and of course was a tremendous favorite here. Well, he should have been. Good man and a marvelous player. So Beltre, who has won 2 Gold Gloves the last couple of years, 30 years old, out of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Milton again ready, looks back, comes to the plate and bounces it, blocked nicely by Martin, and that runs the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. So Eric Milton, 1-5 in his career against the Mariners, getting a precious start tonight. On deck, another superstar, Ken Griffey Jr. Griffey has made 5 starts in left field this year, and he'll be up next. 2-1 pitch coming up to Beltre, and Milton's fastball is whacked to center. Going back is Kemp to the track, reaches up and makes the catch, going right into the wall, and back to second base goes Ichiro. Suzuki was 3/4 of the way to third base, thinking that was going to go out, and a lot of people thought it was going to go out, but not Matt Kemp. So Kemp able to go back on the ball. Had to turn once, then reach up and caught it just as he slammed into the pads. So a long out, and now the batter is Ken Griffey Jr. So Kemp making remarkable defensive plays this year, really settling in the role as the center fielder. And he's about as good as there is in going to the gaps to left center and right center. Now he makes a fine play on a ball hit to dead center. And here is Griffey, who has 2,721 hits in his career. He's tied the great Lou Gehrig. And Griffey takes down and away ball one. 619 home runs in his remarkable career. You just wonder, had he been healthy, just how many home runs he would have hit. He has 8. Out of a stretch goes Milton, looking back at Suzuki, and the pitch to Griffey is down and away. Ken Griffey Jr. will be 40 in November, 6'3", 225, born in a little town in Pennsylvania by the name of Donora, and that was the hometown of the great Stan Musial. Ken waiting at the plate. A chip off the old block. His dad played exceptionally well in the big leagues for the Big Red Machine. And Ken takes down and away ball 3, 3-0. 619 home runs, and yet a career marred by so many injuries. He also hit the 5,000th home run in franchise history. 3-0 pitch taken for a strike. Only right that he would do it. He hit his 5,000th home run against Chad Godin of San Diego on the 23rd. Juan Bernard hit the first one for Seattle way back in 1977, and then Griffey caught up in June on the 23rd. 3-1 the count to Ken Griffey Jr. Here comes Milton's fastball. That's fouled away, and the count stays now at 3-2. As far as Milton and Griffey is concerned, Suzuki at second base, 2 down, and we're just getting underway. Milton and Griffey in the past 4 for 6 with a home run against him. Out of a stretch goes Milton. Griffey waiting, and the 3-2 pitch to Jr. It's a fastball at the knees, strike 3 call. And so Branyan and Griffey strike out, and the leadoff double by Ichiro is wasted. And at the end of half an inning, thanks to Matt Kemp, no score. Two, and Seattle comes up empty-handed. But take a look now at the Dodger lineup, and it reads this way: Juan Pierre, Rafael Furcal, and Orlando Hudson. Casey Blake, followed by the big man last night, Andre Ethier. Then James Loney, Russell Martin, Matt Kemp batting 8th, and Eric Milton on the mound. On the mound for Seattle, a 23-year-old by the name of Felix Hernandez. He's from Valencia in Venezuela. First pitch to Juan Pierre misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Hernandez is 7-3, an earned run average of 2.7, and he's greeted by a drive to right, but Ichiro goes back to haul it in. So Pierre, a long fly ball to right field, 1 away. Let's take a look now at Seattle defensively. Griffey, Gutierrez, and Suzuki. Then you have Beltre, Cedeno, Lopez, and Branyan on the infield, and the battery of Hernandez and Johnson. So we have 1 away in the first inning, and Rafael Furcal checking in. Rafael hitting .238, 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. 1 out, bottom of the first inning, no score. On a beautiful evening, Hernandez over the top, fastball strike, and the count 0-1. He hits 93 on the gun. Temperature 76 degrees at the start of the game. Strike 1 pitch is fouled away off to the left, out of play, and the count 0-2. Felix Hernandez grew up the youngest among a sister and 2 brothers, one of whom is a pitcher, Moises, in the Braves organization. Strike 2 pitch on the way is away. 1-2 the count. Felix dad, a truck driver, middle class family. And as Felix said, we always had plenty of money and plenty of stuff to eat. Line drive, base hit to the gap. Cutting it off is Griffey, and holding on with a long single is Rafael Furcal.
The Dodgers second baseman, number 13.
That'll bring up Orlando Hudson after Furcal takes a spinner, breaking down and away, and just pinged it into left center field. Cutting off the ball was Griffey, and Furcal holding it first. So 1 out, bottom of the first inning. Rafael on the bag. He has stolen 4, but he's been caught 4, and a break-even base stealer is certainly not a success. Felix Hernandez working on Orlando Hudson, batting .307 with 5 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Hudson, as a left-hand batter, is hitting .296, better than .330 right-handed, and fouls it back, and the count 0-1. No score, bottom of the first inning. We're just starting as the Dodgers take a look at the talk of the American League in Felix Hernandez, who grew up idolizing another pitcher from the Mariners by the name of Freddie Garcia. Hernandez out of a stretch. There goes Furcal, and there's a ground ball to the right side. Up with it is Lopez to make the play. Dodgers stay out of the double play by running Furcal, and the batter will be Casey Blake.
Third baseman, number 23, Casey Blake.
So Casey Blake coming up with Furcal at second and 2 down. Casey hitting .301, 11 home runs, and 48 runs batted in. Andre Ethier and James Loney are tied with 49 runs batted in, and Casey is right back on him. 2 down, first inning, no score. Hernandez ready and delivers. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike, and the count 0-1. At 6'3", the word on Hernandez was he skipped school all the time to play basketball and envisioned himself as playing someday in the NBA. Well, he wound up in the MLB. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way, another fastball strike. When he was 15 years old, scouts said that Hernandez could hit 94 on the gun. Back in the spring of '02, he was pursued by the Yankees, the Braves, the Rockies, and the Mariners won out. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way, another fastball down and in this time, and a 1-2 count. Felix Hernandez trying to win his 8th. 1-2 the count to Casey Blake. 2 down. Rafael Furcal at second, looking for a ride home. And another pitch is down, too far down in the dirt. And that runs the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hernandez, when he made his debut at 19, it was at Detroit's Comerica Park in August of '05. He was the youngest pitcher to start his first major league game since Britt Burns did it way back in 1978 for the White Sox. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Felix ready, comes to the plate, and it gets away from the catcher Rob Johnson, and over to third goes for call. So Hernandez had one get away. Johnson trying to block it, couldn't do it. Hernandez, by the way, came in here with 8 wild pitches. And as he bounced that one in the dirt, it went right under Johnson's backhanded attempt. So on his 9th wild pitch, the Dodgers have for call at third with 2 out. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Casey Blake. Out of a stretch goes Felix. 23-year-old's next pitch is down and dirty and blocked, and no swing. Well, Casey Blake goes to first, and the batter now will be the hero from last night, Andre Ethier. Interesting note that came out of last night's game, the fact that Don Wakamatsu, the newly appointed manager of the Seattle Mariners, years ago, Don had a baseball camp teaching youngsters how to play. One of those youngsters he was teaching how to play came back to haunt him last night, Andre Ethier. Ethier hitting .268, and Hernandez pitches low, ball 1. Andre, 14 home runs, 13 of them hit here at Dodger Stadium, and 49 runs batted in. So first and third, 2 out. Hernandez, by the way, has allowed 7 home runs. Right-hander from his stretch, and the 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 1-1. They were talking about Andre Ethier huddling with Don Mattingly before the game last night, and then Joe Torre's comment about how relaxed Ethier appeared to be with very quick hands last night. 1-1 pitch, and Ethier chases one down and away. 1-2 the count. So the slider down, and Hernandez has the count his way. 2 down, bottom of the first inning. You'll get fastballs, curveballs, sliders, and a change. Hernandez out of a stretch, and the 1-2 pitch. Ethier, it's a fly ball to right field. Ichiro was there, actually comes up a couple of steps to make the catch, and that's that. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, and 2 left. And at the end of an inning, no score. ball game, the Mariners and the Dodgers. Lopez, Gutierrez, and Johnson coming up. For Jose Lopez, times are really tough. He's only 25 years old, and he is playing with a very heavy heart. Lopez 2 years ago lost his brother, who was killed in a motorcycle accident. And the first pitch to him is in for a strike, 0-1. He just returned from Venezuela, where he lost his sister in a battle for cancer. The strike one pitch on the way. Lopez hits a line drive into right field for a base hit. So Lopez came back and had 3 hits last night, has now had 4 consecutive singles, leading off the second inning with 1, and Franklin Gutierrez now coming to the plate. Gutierrez struck out twice, flied out and walked. At one time was Dodger property, and he was traded to Cleveland, and that brought Milton Bradley to Los Angeles. And then Bradley was traded to Oakland, and the Dodgers got Andre Ethier. Out of a stretch goes Eric Milton, looks over at Lopez, comes to Gutierrez, and a breaking ball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Lopez does not steal any bases. He is 0 for 2 on busted hit and run plays. So Lopez at first, held on by Loney. No score, top of the second inning. Out of a stretch goes Milton, very deliberate, set, ready, and deals. Fastball foul back to the screen, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Milton hits 87 on the gun. So Franklin Gutierrez, followed by Rob Johnson. Gutierrez, who I'm sure as Dodger property always dreamt of the day that he would play at Dodger Stadium. And little did he know he would get here, but wearing the uniform of the Seattle Mariners. Franklin waiting, no balls and 2 strikes. He's 6'2", 180, and from Venezuela. Milton out of his stretch. Eric ready and delivers, and that's promptly banged into the gap in right center field. That's going to roll to the wall. Here is Lopez to third. He'll be waved in by Bruce Hines. Falling down, rounding second is Gutierrez, but he gets back to the bag, and the Mariners get on the board and lead 1-0. So Franklin Gutierrez doubles into the gap in right center. Lopez scoring from first.
Number 32, Rob Johnson.
And just like that, it's 1-0 in favor of Seattle. So a double to right center and a run batted in. Rob Johnson, the catcher. Meanwhile, Lee Tinsley, the first base coach, going out to check on Franklin Gutierrez, who really took a header rounding the bag. That double by Gutierrez on a no ball 2 strike count. Franklin showing that he's hurting. Don Wakamatsu out there along with the coach and the trainer. Gutierrez would like to stay in, and we'll just have to wait and see. Apparently hurting his left knee as he rounded second. He really took a header. So Gutierrez continues to talk. Wakamatsu and company listen. He stumbled as soon as he hit the bag, and he went face forward down into the dirt. Then he got back up and got back without a play being made. And from the looks of things, Gutierrez is going to stay in. Left leg soiled with the dirt as he went face first. So now Rob Johnson will be coming up. 1-0 in favor of the Mariners in the second inning. Johnson, a right-hand batter. Johnson is from a little town in Montana, Anaconda. He went to the University of Houston. Out of his stretch goes Milton. A look at Gutierrez, and the left-hander deals, and that swung on and fouled away, and the count 0-1. Anaconda, Montana has a population of 4,000. So then Rob moved to Whitehall, Montana. It's a population of 800. And then he went to the big city. He went to Butte and grew up in a population of 30,000, but never played high school baseball. His high school just didn't have a team. 0-1 to Rob Johnson. He looks at an off-speed pitch, but that stays up. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Johnson had plans of going to the University of South Carolina, but their #1 catcher returned to school, so he opted to go to Houston. But when you talk about Montana, he can tell you some stories about the snow. 1-1 fastball is fouled away. 1-2. Rob Johnson has memories of his father and co-workers shoveling a 500-yard long path through 6 feet of snow, trying to help the cattle get to some feed. Cows would go from one haystack to another, otherwise they'd starve to death. So the family had to dig the path for the cow. But it made him big and strong. He didn't have to just eat his vegetables. 1-2 the count to Rob. Off-speed pitch is whacked to center. Kemp going back to one-handed. Tagging up is Gutierrez and runs well enough to get over to third. So Johnson, a fly ball to center. Gutierrez advancing a base. And now the shortstop, Ronnie Cedeno, coming up, trying to pick up a second run in the inning. Mariners lead 1-0. Mariners are 12-9 against left-hand starters. So Ronnie Cedeno. Ionescu Betancourt is the regular shortstop, but he's had a bad hamstring and he's on the DL. Infield comes up, and the pitch on the outside corner for a strike, and the count 0-1. Mariners 1, Dodgers nothing. Top of the second inning, just getting started. Cedeno backs out, looks down at Bruce Hines. He's a local boy from Pomona, went to school at Bonita High, and his father worked for the Dodgers. Remember Coach Ben Hines? Well, that's a chip off the old block. Cedeno fouls it back, and the count 0-2. Russell Martin out to the mound now to talk to Eric Milton. In the inning, Jose Lopez a single to right field, which means he has 4 consecutive hits in the series. Franklin Gutierrez doubled to the wall in right center. Lopez scoring, Gutierrez falling down at second but stays in. Johnson a fly ball deep enough to center to advance Gutierrez to third. Though Cedeno trying to pick him up, and not a bad hitting pitcher at all in Felix Hernandez on deck. 0-2 the count with the infield up. Milton out of his stretch. Left-hander ready, and here he comes, and that's high. 1-2. Gutierrez hit an 0-2 pitch for the double. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count, with 1 out, second inning, and the Mariners leading 1-0. Cedeno, right-hand batter, light breeze blowing out towards left field. Milton delivers, and it's a fastball swung on and missed, and a big out as Cedeno strikes out.
How about pitcher?
Talking now about Felix Hernandez. Even though he had batted only 11 times in his career, he hit a grand slam home run off Johan Santana. He did it last year in June at Shea Stadium. That was the first ever home run by a Seattle pitcher, and the slam off Santana became the first pitcher to hit a grand slam off a Cy Young Award winner since Steve Carlton hit a grand slam against Fernando Valenzuela. Hernandez a big swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. Interesting too, Hernandez hit the grand slam at Shea Stadium. Milton back with a wrinkle that's up and a 1 ball 1 strike count. In the Seattle dugout at the time was the Mariner pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre, who had hit a grand slam home run in New York at Yankee Stadium. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. The exciting thing for Mel Stottlemyre, his grand slam home run was an inside the park grand slam. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Felix Hernandez, and here comes Milton with a curveball, got him looking, and that's that. So a single and a double for 1. And at the end of an inning and a half, Mariners 1, Dodgers nothing. To you by Jack in the Box. Right now, try the mini Buffalo Ranch chicken sandwiches. 3 mini home-style chicken fillets on toasted mini buns. And by Southwest Airlines. Ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 in favor of the Seattle Mariners. A single and a double did the trick. And now in the bottom of the second inning, James Loney, Russell Martin, and followed by Matt Kemp. So Felix Hernandez, the 23-year-old, has given a run, and we'll see what he can do with it now as Loney checks in. James hitting .281, looks at a fastball for a strike, and the count 0-1. James with 5 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Giants and Milwaukee had quite a game today as Loney fouls it off. It was 4-4 in the 9th inning. Giants scored twice against Trevor Hoffman, only to have the Brewers come back with 3. Prince Fielder knocked in the winning run off Brian Wilson, and the Brewers beat the Giants 7-6. Loney a ground ball to Lopez. Jose is up with it and throws him out, and we have one away here in this second inning. You know, you can join the Dodgers at the beach tomorrow. Bleacher Beach at Dodger Stadium. Enjoy unlimited barbecue, a Dodger floppy hat, and a private beach party as you watch the Dodgers and Mariners. To purchase tickets, visit Dodgers.com/beach or call 866-DODGERS. One away, Russell Martin checks in. Hernandez ready and delivers, and the pitch low and away, ball 1. Boy, Hernandez really swings that upper torso as he kind of really winds. Not so much winding up. He just winds. Big guy turns, ready, comes back with a fastball strike, and the count 1-1. Hitting in the 90 range, up to 93 so far. So he's a big fella, 6'3", 225, and he can let it fly. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Martin beats it foul into the dirt. Got a little bit of it on his foot. 1-2 the count. Russell hitting .249. 1 home run, 21 runs batted in. One nothing Mariners, bottom of the second inning. Martin still not quite ready. So as they always do, the plate umpire gives him a little extra time. Chuck Merriweather cleans off home plate. And now Martin checks in. 1-2 pitch on the way is in the dirt. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Hernandez definitely a power pitcher, and yet they say if you watch him, he is that rare power pitcher who gets a lot of ground balls. Throws hard but keeps the ball down. And the next pitch fouled away, though Martin is still there at 2-2. Felix started for the Mariners opening day 2 years ago. Became the 4th pitcher since 1900 to start and win an opening day game before being 21. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way, little high. Who were the others? Chief Bender in 1905, Bob Feller in 1939, and Fernando Valenzuela in 1981. Now the 3-2 pitch on the way. Fastball rolls slowly to third. Up with it is Beltre, plenty of time, and he throws out Martin. So with 2 down, Matt Kemp will be coming up, and we already know about Matt being in the ball game because it was his play in the 2nd inning, crashing into the center field wall, taking an extra base hit away from the catcher Rob Johnson, although it didn't prevent the run of Gutierrez from taking third. It stopped the bleeding and made it 1-0 Seattle. Kemp hitting .313. He has 9 home runs, 40 RBIs. Typical of him last night, 3 hits, including a triple. And he takes a strike. For Matt, hitting a ball into left center last night, Vladimir Valentin diving, didn't get it. And then kind of a slow, not careless, but a very slow relay. And Kemp took one look at it and beat the play to third. He takes a strike and a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Matt. 2 down, 2nd inning, 1-0 Mariners. Hernandez comes right back, and that's fouled off, though it's still 0-2. In looking at Hernandez's work, besides the 7-3 record, he came in with 98 strikeouts and 31 walks, so better than 3-1. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way to Kemp, swung on, ground ball back a third, foul ball. Beltre was all set to pull the trigger, but the ball kicked foul. So 1-2 the count to Matt Kemp. 1-0 Seattle in the 2nd inning. A reminder tomorrow in the finale, it'll be Garrett Olson and Hiroki Kuroda. And then the Colorado Rockies, led by former Dodger manager Jim Tracy. All right, Kemp back up to the plate. Hernandez ready, and his 1-2 pitch on the way. He bounces that in the dirt, and it kicks away. Boy, it's a hard night's work for Rob Johnson behind the plate. When you have a big kid throwing hard, but bouncing so many pitches, he has 9 wild pitches and committed 1 in the 1st inning. Felix says no, then says yes, and the 2-2 pitch on the way is swung on and missed. Strikeout number 99 for the 23-year-old, who walks off after 2 innings, leading 1-0. favor of Seattle as we go to the third inning. And it'll be Ichiro Suzuki, Russell Branyan, and Adrian Beltre. Ichiro doubled to right in the first inning, so he's hit safely in 10 straight. Ichiro going through his usual routine before getting in. I'm not sure if he still does it, but they talked about the fact that when he first came to the big leagues, his teammates were amazed about his feet. Now, he's only 5'9", but apparently his feet were very smooth and sleek, not calloused. And he promptly hits one into right center. A diving try, but Kemp can't come up with it. So Ichiro now has 7 straight multi-hit games. Is there anything he can't do? So a double to right, and now a single to center. And the batter will be Russell Branyan. Great effort by Kemp, a dive, but he couldn't hold on to it. Let's get back to Ichiro's feet for the moment, as Kemp might very well reconsider that play, thinking that he should have caught it. Between batting practice and the start of the game, Ichiro sits in front of his locker with a 6-inch carrot-shaped stick, and he starts working on his feet. Milton looks over at him, now to the plate. Branyan backs off, and it's a strike. He watches a video of the pitcher he'll face that night, and meanwhile he pokes and prods his feet one at a time from heel to toes. Not dainty. He pushes so hard it looks like he might puncture the skin, but it is very relaxing. There are so many pressure points, and he uses it to release the pressure, and it's his routine. So of course you can imagine his startled teammates when he first joined the club. By the way, Branyan had asked for time, and it was granted, so that first pitch did not count. Milton ready and delivers. Branyan looks, and it's high and inside. Ball 1. 1-0 to count. Russell will look down to see if Bruce Hines might be hanging out a sign. Lee Tinsley over to say something to Ichiro. It's 1-0 Seattle, and we're in the third inning. Suzuki off the bag. A look over by Milton. Eric just staring at him. Now to the plate, and again Branyan backs out of the box. No pitch. So Eric Milton battling Russell Branyan with Adrian Beltre on deck. Suzuki, pretty good lead over there, held on by Loney. And the pitch to Branyan is uppercutted and missed. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Suzuki again listening to Lee Tinsley, now takes his lead. 1-1 to count to Branyan, who's hitting .299. The pitch to Russell, he shows bunt, and that's a strike, and the count 1-2. When you realize that Branyan is a feast or famine hitter, he has struck out over 70 times and is still hitting right around 300. That is a pretty remarkable combination. Usually when you get a strikeout hitter, he might have a lot of home runs, but he's not going to hit 300. Branyan back in 01 struck out 130 times. Russell waiting, swings, strokes it down the right field line. That's going to go into the corner. Here is Suzuki on his way to third. Hines is going to wave him in, and he will score easily as Branyan goes to third, and it is 2-0 Seattle. The Branyan bangs one into the right field corner, and Suzuki on those delicate feet scores from first as Branyan unloads. So now with a runner at third, nobody out, and Adrian Beltre coming up. The Mariners with a shot at scoring yet another. So Branyan, base hit, run batted in. Suzuki in the dugout, and Beltre, Griffey, and Lopez trying to pick up Branyan, his first triple in 2 years. Timeout for the moment. James Loney is talking to Laz Diaz, the first base umpire. Loney with something in his eye, right eye. So Stan Conti going out, and timeout. So in the inning, Ichiro, a fly ball single to center that Kemp almost caught. Then Branyan triples in the right field corner. And Ichiro, who was the 2001 American League Rookie of the Year. He was also the MVP of the American League. And he was the first player since Fred Lynn back in 1975 to win both awards. Fred Lynn, of course, played for the Red Sox, came off the campus of USC. So Ichiro brings in the run, and it is 2-0 Mariners. They're still working on James Loney's right eye, so timeout for the moment. Not much they can do if the first baseman says he's ready to play. Whatever it is still bothering him. Stan Connie lifting the lid and apparently has cleared it. And Loney goes back to work. Still appears slightly uncomfortable over there. 2-0 in favor of Seattle. We're in the third inning. So far, the Mariners have 2 doubles and a triple and 2 singles. So it's not as if Milton has been fooling them, although he also has 4 strikeouts. And here is Adrian Beltre, the fly deep to center in the first inning. Beltre hitting .260 and takes low, ball 1. As we said, and we noticed last night that his left shoulder was really bothering him. If you were watching the game on television last night, you saw the trainer working on Beltre's left shoulder, and that's where the bone spurs are, and that's where he's going to have repeat surgery. The 1-0 pitch on the way is a fastball high, ball 2, 2-0 the count. Milton had made 32 pitches in the first 2 innings, and to repeat what Joe Torre had said, the only limitations, we'll look at Milton at the 5th and 6th innings. It all depends on his command. Off speed, in for a strike to Beltre, and the count 2-1. Mariners 2 runs, 5 hits. Dodgers no runs, 1 hit. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. Down the line from third comes Branyan. Out of a stretch goes Milton. Back to Beltre, and that's on the outside corner. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Adrian with 30 runs batted in. Right hand hitting third baseman waiting. And the 2-2 pitch on the way is a fastball pop foul off third. Casey Blake has a play in the third base coach's box, makes the catch for the out. So Beltre unable to deliver, leaving a runner, and with 1 out, the batter now is Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Mariners left Ichiro with a leadoff double in the first inning. They left Gutierrez at third base with 1 out in the second inning, and now they have Branyan at third with 1 out. And here is Griffey. Interesting that he did exactly what his father had done. His first major league base hit was a double. Dad did the same thing. Griffey takes off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Ken was signed out of Moeller High School in Cincinnati back in 1987. And he started playing in the big leagues in 1989. Didn't take him long at all. Griffey swings, doesn't get it. 1-1. Had some rather remarkable years. And in 1997 and 98, Junior had 56 home runs each year. One year 147 RBIs, and the next 146. 8-year stretch of 40 or more. 619 in his career, and fate was kind to allow him the pleasure of hitting the 5,000th home run in Seattle history. And he drives one to right. Ether going back, just watching it. It's gone. Home run number 620 for Ken Griffey Jr. It is 4-0 in favor of Seattle. Griffey had Only 3 home runs last year for the White Sox. Now he has 9 and 25 runs batted in. Well, as we said earlier, I don't know how many home runs he might have hit. Had he been fortunate enough to stay healthy, I think he would easily have stayed right there with Barry Bonds. Easily. So 4-0 in favor of Seattle. Jr. getting 5s and hugs in the dugout. And the pitch now to Jose Lopez is low, ball 1. 1-0. So a single, a triple, and a home run. Griffey 40 back of Willie Mays. And the pitch swung on and fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike. He is 6'3", 225, and he'll be 40 the 21st of November. The next pitch is swung on and missed 1-2. There is one moment in Ken Griffey Jr.'s life, however, that he hates to even think about. He actually tried to commit suicide. 17 years old, too much pressure, too much expected of him. I think he said he swallowed something like 277 aspirin tablets. And then he said, I am living proof just how stupid that was. So he has a lot to be thankful for. 4-0 Mariners in the 3rd inning. The 1-2 pitch is taken low and inside. So Eric Milton being extra based to a 4-0 deficit. He's given up 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. And the 2-2 pitch on the way is swung on, a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. So Jose Lopez has now 5 consecutive base hits. And Rick Honeycutt is on the phone to the Dodger bullpen. And the batter will be Franklin Gutierrez. So 2 singles, a triple, and a home run. And it's 4 on 7 hits for the Mariners. No runs and 1 hit for the Dodgers. Down in the Dodger bullpen, James Mcdonald will get up and begin to loosen up. And before Mcdonald even gets started, Rick Honeycutt calling Martin out to the mound, and they'll have a brief chat with Eric Milton. So the Mariners scored 1 in the 2nd inning and 3 here in the 3rd to open it up 4-0. Of course, for the Dodgers, they began the night 8 games in front of the Giants. Griffey hurts them with that 2-run home run, but the Giants lost to the Brewers. 4-0 in favor of Seattle, trying to get an edge on the Dodgers. This is the 21st meeting between the 2 teams, and they have split 20. So Gutierrez, who doubled in a run on an 0-2 pitch, fell down, rounding second, stayed in the game, and got as far as 3rd on a fly ball by Rob Johnson. Gutierrez hitting .261. Milton ready and delivers. Fastball strike outside part of the plate, and the count 0-1. Franklin hitting .261. 7 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Garrett Olson and Hiroki Kuroda tomorrow. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Milton comes back with a breaking ball. A 1-hopper knocked down by Furcal. Gets it to Hudson for a force play. And that's that. So Gutierrez losing a base hit. Nice defensive play by Furcal to turn it into a force. And the batter now will be Rob Johnson.
Batting next, catcher, Rob Johnson.
So Rob Johnson, they had a long fly ball to center. That was the play when Matt Kemp went right into the pads to make a fine play. The man from Anaconda, Montana, Big Sky country, checks in at the plate. Out of his stretch goes Milton. Another look over at first. Eric Reddy trying to get out of the inning, and the fastball strike, and the count 0-1. Rob Johnson not only talks about digging out in all of the heavy snows in Montana, He also talks about baling hay on his grandparents' ranch, and he started doing that in the 7th grade. Rob checks, and it's another strike, and the count 0-2. And as he said, if you really want to know what hard work is all about, try baling hay. 0-2 to Rob, right-hand hitting catcher. Gutierrez at first, 2 down, 4-0 Mariners. Big curveball is swung on and missed. Johnson running to first base, but he's done. But Ken Griffey Jr. is far from being done. He unloaded a 2-run home run, number 602. Each of 8 straight games, tying a major league record. So it's not very newsworthy when he hits a home run tonight, but he did. And the Mariners lead 4-0 as Eric Milden takes ball 1. 1-0 the count. So Milden followed by Pierre and then Furcal. And the young right-hander Felix Hernandez, 23 years old. Hernandez staring in. Now he's ready. And the 1-0 pitch to Milden. That's low and inside. Ball 2. 2-0. Trying to win his 8th. He is 7-3. He is 3-0 in his last 6 starts. And Hernandez gets a strike. In fact, over that stretch, in his last 6 starts, his earned run average is 1. The 2-1 pitch is high, but Milden goes after it. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Imagine an ERA of 1, and the best he can get out of it is 3-0. Milden fouls the next pitch back, and the count stays 2-2. So a 23-year-old on the mound, sparked by a soon-to-be 40-year-old. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. That'll do it for Milden. That, by the way, is strikeout number 100 for young Felix Hernandez. You know, you can start your holiday off right with an Independence Day fireworks spectacular at Dodger Stadium Tuesday. Compliments of Hyundai. Watch the Dodgers and Rockies after the game. You're invited on the field to take in the show. For tickets, call 866-DODGERS or visit Dodgers.com. Juan Pierre flied to right field in the first inning. Bunts hard at third. Beltre backhands it and throws him out. Pierre trying to bunt, but he hit a one-hopper, and Adrian eats those for lunch. So 2 down, and the batter will be Rafael for a call. Beltre, we were commenting last night on a regular top ball up along third or on a bunt is as good as anyone I've ever seen, if not the best, in charging, one-handing, and making that off-balance throw to first, and deservedly so, getting gold gloves in each of the last 2 years. Furcal takes off the plate, ball 1. Rafael, single to left in the first inning, got around as far as third. 1-0 pitch on the way, late on a fastball is Rafael, and he backs out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hernandez hit 95 on that fastball. That's as hard as he's thrown tonight. The 1-1 pitch on the way, a fastball grounded to the hole, backhanded by Cedeno, but the throw is too late. So a nice effort by Ronnie Cedeno, but Furcal, batting left-handed, had the extra steps to first, and they came in handy. Good effort indeed, and Cedeno's throw on a bounce was right there, but Furcal arrived ahead of it. So Orlando Hudson will be coming up. Cedeno unable to get the third out. Hudson grounded out to Jose Lopez in the first inning. Orlando batting .306. 5 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Remember, they ran Furcal in the first inning with 1 out, and Hudson grounded out, but they stayed out of the double play. Now with 2 down, Rafael, who is 4 out of 8, taking his lead, and Hudson waiting. Hernandez delivers and drops it low. 1 ball and no strikes. Mariners 4, Dodgers nothing. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ichiro has a double and a single, and Ken Griffey Jr. has a 2-run home run. Number 620. The 1-0 pitch on the way, and that's off the plate. We were talking before about Griffey and how we feel he might easily have been with Barry Bonds, except for injuries. He became the youngest player in history to hit 450 home runs. He was only 31. That was younger than Jimmy Fox, way younger than Henry Aaron. The pitch to Hudson is high. So Hernandez now 3-0, and on deck Casey Blake. We talked about the fact too that had Griffey been fortunate and stayed healthy, how many more home runs he might have hit. In the last 8 years, he has missed almost 500 games. The pitch is strike, 3-1. To be exact, over the last 8 years, Ken Griffey Jr. has missed 496 games. So how many home runs do you think he would have hit had he stayed healthy? 25% of those? At least. 3-1 pitch. There goes Furcal. Ground ball behind Cedeno, who had broken to cover, and Furcal will go to third. Perfectly executed hit-and-run single by Orlando Hudson. The shortstop breaking with a left-hand batter, and as Cedeno broke, the ball was hit right through the vacated spot, and Furcal just kept on going. So the Dodgers trying to mount something. They have runners at first and third with 2 out. And the batter will be Casey Blake, who walked in the first inning. Blake hitting .301, 11 home runs, 48 runs batted in, and takes a strike. And the count 0-1. Casey Blake has hit safely 15 of the last 16. 7 RBIs in his last 7 games. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way, and that's in the dirt. Blocked halfway to second as Hudson thinks better of it and goes back to first. 1-1 to count to Casey Blake. Rafael Furcal visiting with his coach Larry Boa. Rob Johnson has had to block about at least 10 pitches in the dirt One got away. That was in the first inning. That was the 9th wild pitch by young Felix Hernandez. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Casey Blake. And it's a fastball on the hands, fouled right into the Dodger dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Casey hitting .301, 11 home runs, 48 runs batted in. Since the 7th of May, Blake has hit a very steady .347. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Hernandez delivers, and it's low and away. 2-2 the count. Mariners 4, Dodgers nothing. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Hernandez had made 32 pitches in the first 2 innings, and with 2 out, has given up a single to Furcal and a hit and run single to Orlando Hudson. Felix out of a stretch. Checks the runners. 2-2 pitch to Blake is inside with a fastball, and he hits 95 again with the gun. So a full count and 2 down. Hudson will be going, and on deck, Andre Ethier, representing the possible tying run. 3-2 coming off the bag is Branyan, so Hudson will be ready to go. Hernandez out of his stretch, ready, and deals, and it's a little fly ball to right, but coming up is Suzuki, and on his knees he drops it. In comes Furcal. Hudson goes to 3rd. I have to believe that Ichiro perhaps lost the ball in the lights. He should have caught it, dropped to his knees, I think, to try and get the ball coming under the lights, and then just got his glove on it and dropped it. So it'll happen. We'll see how they rule it. But in watching it, if you want to say he lost it in the lights, okay. But he also should have caught it. Ball hit his left knee just below his glove. So we're still waiting for the scoring. But that should have been the 3rd out of the inning. Instead, the Dodgers get a run. They have runners at 1st and 3rd. Now they are saying error, and that's a good call. Suzuki, better known to the world as Ichiro, is charged with an error. And for Ichiro, only his 2nd error this year, and he's had a Gold Glove all 8 years, so it is as rare indeed, more so than a day in June. All right, the Dodgers get a big break. They trail 4-1, and with runners at 1st and 3rd, Andre Ethier, who flied to right in his first at-bat, takes high and inside, ball 1. 1-0. So after Milton struck out and Pierre tried to bunt and was thrown out, Furcal singled, Hudson a hit and run single, Blake's fly ball dropped by Suzuki, although he didn't drop it, it just hit him on the leg. The pitch to Ethier misses, and a 2-ball, no strike count. So Felix Hernandez struggling a little here. This will be his 25th pitch in the inning. Made 32 pitches in the first 2 innings. Now the 2-0 pitch to Andre Ethier, and Ethier looks at a strike, and the count 2-1. On deck, James Loney. So with 2 out, 2 singles and an error, Dodgers get 1. Mariners lead 4-1. And Ethier trying to pick somebody up. 2-1 pitch to Andre is swung on, little roller foul outside of first, and that evens the count, 2-2. So Orlando Hudson at 3rd, Casey Blake at 1st. Andre Ethier with 6 RBIs last night to go with his 3 home runs. Andre back up, 2-2 the count. Out of his stretch goes Hernandez, looks at the runners. 2-2 pitch on the way outside. That wasn't close. So he's on the edge. He has walked 1. James Loney on deck, and you know what Loney does with the bases loaded. So Hernandez has to come up with a big pitch here to get out of the inning. 3-2 the count to Ethier. Blake will be going from first. They're not going to hold him. Out of a stretch goes Hernandez. Blake goes, and the pitch, the ground ball right to Branyan. First baseman takes it to the bag, and that's that. But the Dodgers get a break on the rare error by Ichiro, and at the end of 3, 4-1 Mariners. Has 13 home runs at home this year. Do you have any idea who holds the record for home runs in 1 year at Dodger Stadium? Well, we'll give you the answer in a little while. Meanwhile, we can tell you Felix Hernandez made 28 pitches, gave up an unearned run, and Milton working on Ronnie Cedeno. 0-1 the count. Cedeno 0 for 3 last night, struck out tonight, 0 for 4. Slick fielding shortstop, had trouble with the bat. 0-1. Now he's in a hole 0-2. Foul ball down the line, out of play. Eric Milden, rudely treated by the Mariners in the first 3 innings, has given up 7 hits, a couple of doubles, a triple, and a home run. 1-2 to Cedeno from Carabobo in Venezuela, originally signed by the Cubs. Still 1-2. Cedeno followed by Hernandez and then Ichiro. Aaron Heilman went to the Cubs, and that brought Cedeno to the Mariners. Fastball popped up, and it will be Blake. So 1 away in the 4th inning, and the batter now, Felix Hernandez, who struck out in the 2nd inning. And a strike. 0-1. Youngster getting a lot of honors. He was younger than 21, and he became only the 7th pitcher to pitch on opening day. Who are the other youngsters who had that honor? Well, Catfish Hunter, Dwight Gooden, Fernando Valenzuela, Bob Feller, Josh Billings, and Gary Nolan. 0-2. 6 strikeouts for Milton. And with 2 down in the 4th inning, Ichiro coming up. Ichiro doubled and singled, though he's had 7 straight multi-hit games. He has hit in 10 in a row. We were talking last night about the influence of his father. It was incredible. His father had virtually every part of Ichiro's life regimented. Nobuyuki Suzuki was a cooler repair shop manager, a tool manufacturer, and he put a full-size bat and glove in the hands of his son when he was 3. And he just took over his life. Little foul ball out of play. The leading hitter in the major leagues, batting .375. He has 6 home runs. Back in 2005, he had 15 home runs. And a little ground ball to Loney. He will take it to the bag. So it's a 1-2-3 inning, first time for Milton tonight. But at the end of 3.5, it's still Mariners 4, Dodgers 1. .14 home runs, 13 have been hit at home. Who holds the record for home runs in 1 year at Dodger Stadium? And the answer, Gary Sheffield and Adrian Beltre. Each hit 23 here. Beltre, of course, hit 48 in 2004. You might also wonder, what's the major league record for home runs at home for any club? And the answer, Hank Greenberg of the Detroit Tigers back in 1938 had 39 home runs at home. Meanwhile, 4-1 Mariners, bottom of the 4th inning. Loney, Martin, and Kemp. And that's a fly ball to center, and coming in a hurry, diving and making the catch is Franklin Gutierrez. So Loney losing a base hit, and Gutierrez making a very good play. For a split second, Gutierrez started to go back to his right. That's what made it so tough, but he was able to catch up to it. For the second time tonight, he hits the ground hard, face first, once as a base runner. And the batter now, Russell Martin. And Hernandez in, way to go. Ground ball to Lopez, and quickly 2 out. The batter will be Matt Kemp. Down in the Dodger bullpen, James Mcdonald loosens up again. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Mariners, 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Kemp struck out in the second inning. Ball 1. Bottom of the 4th. 4-1 Mariners. Seattle scored in the second, added 3 in the third. Dodgers came back with 1, only because of the rare error in right field by Ichiro. 1-1. Try to think of how many superstars do you know by just one name besides Ichiro? Barbara, Tallulah, Madonna, Elvis, yeah. Fouled away, still 1-2. And of course the great soccer player Pele. Not too many. 1-2 the count to Matt Kemp. 2 down, 4th inning, 4-1 in favor of the Mariners. Two and two. So Matt strikes out a second time. Down go the Dodgers in order, thanks to that sprawling catch by Franklin Gutierrez. And at the end of 4, it's 4-1 Seattle. Just what he needed. He made 28 pitches as he labored in the 3rd inning. However, in the 4th inning, he made only 8. So he goes into the 5th inning with the Mariners leading 4-1. Branyan, Beltre, and Griffey coming up in that order. 4 runs, 7 hits for Seattle. 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. We came up with another one name, Cher. C-H-E-R. Branyan struck out and tripled. Ball 1. Branyan, a Georgia boy, born and still lives in Warner Robins, Georgia, originally signed by the Indians. 2-0 and 3-0. Remember, Joe Torre, when talking about the limit for Milton, said we'll look at the 5th and 6th innings. Well, he is now in the 5th. Check swing for a strike. 3-1. Dodgers load up the right side. The outfield fanned out straight away. 3-1. 3-2 to Russell Branyan. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Guillermo Mota, who made 33 pitches in relief last night. He worked the 7th and the 8th inning. And Mota's up, heating up again. 3-2. Remember when the Dodgers had a big left-hander by the name of John Candelaria. John Candelaria was part pitcher and part bookkeeper. Down in the bullpen, Candelaria would not only count how many times he was in a game, but how many times did he get up? How many pitches did he throw each time? So by the end of the year, if the general manager said, well, you were in X number of games, Candelaria would say, wait a minute, I warmed up twice on all these games and never got in. John really kept track of every pitch he made in the bullpen. 3-2. Candelaria was with the Dodgers back in 1991 and 92. Well, that takes care of Branyan. And the batter now will be Adrian Beltre. For Milton, that would be his 7th strikeout, even though he was pushed around. Eric now working on Beltre. Fly to center and fouled out. And Beltre fouls it off. Playing in a lot of pain with that bad shoulder, but he wants to play. I had somebody involved with the Seattle Ball Club say to me tonight, this could be his last game of the year. And a fly ball to right field. Ethier is there. 2 down in the 5th inning. And the batter will be Ken Griffey Jr., who did what Ken Griffey Jr. does. He hit a home run in the 3rd inning, number 620 in his career. We told you that he missed 496 games over the last 8 seasons. Interesting, too, Junior bats and throws left-handed. If he got his autograph, he would sign it right-handed. Right. 1-1. When you ask Griffey, well, how is it you throw and you bat left-handed? How come you write right-handed? He said back in Pennsylvania, they didn't have any left-handed desks, so I had to learn with my right hand. Being left-handed myself, we always had right-handed desks. I just had to sit cockeyed. That's how I grew up, cockeyed. 2-1. Slow curveball. 2-2 the count. In May this year, Junior gave out white ties with his own face on them when the team was going to Missouri. The tie depicted Griffey wearing a Mariners pullover and a big grin between 2 thumbs up. He hits a fly ball. That'll be in Kemp's glove. By the way, the inscription on the tie right under Ken Griffey Jr.'s face, it said, world's greatest teammate. And it's 4-1 Mariners. Favor of the Mariners, and for Eric Milden, he made 84 pitches, and he will give way now to Brad Aardsma, who will bat for him. For Eric, 7 strikeouts, but he also gave up a couple of doubles, a triple, and a home run. So it's 4-1 Mariners, and here's Aardsma. Ground ball to Lopez. One away. So Brad didn't hang around, and the batter now will be Juan Pierre.
Left fielder number 9, Juan Pierre.
Felix Hernandez throwing strikes. He has walked 1. That was Blake. And the only run that he has given up is unearned. That was Blake's little fly ball to right, and I believe Ichiro had trouble with it in the lights and charged with an error. And a strike. Pierre flied to right and tried to bunt in the 3rd inning and bunted sharply to Beltre, who nailed him easily. One ball and 1 strike. 4-1 Mariners, bottom of the 5th. Felix Hernandez trying to win his 8th. Two and 1 the count to Pierre. Remember, the Dodger run came in the 3rd inning after 2 were out. Little ground ball to Branyan. He takes it to the bag, and we have 2 down. You know, the Baseline Box Clubs at Dodger Stadium offer a private buffet and seats so close they used to be part of the field. Now you can save 30% on tickets Wednesday with the Business Lunch Special presented by Staples. Visit Dodgers.com/business. Enter the promo code Staples to join the club. That'll be with Colorado after Monday and Tuesday nights. Here now, Rafael for call. Single to left and single to short. Strike. One ball and 1 strike. Rafael hitting .244. Pretty good breaking ball. 1-2. Felix Hernandez, 23 years old in April. Realize he's 23 and he's in his 5th year in the big leagues. Off the plate. In the dirt, chased by Percall, who strikes out. Dodgers go out in order. 4 strikeouts for Hernandez, and it's 4-1 Seattle. 1980. It was a big year for left-handed Jerry Royce. On this day, he pitched a no-hitter against the Giants at Candlestick Park, winning 8-0. That made Jerry's record 9-1. He was good enough not only to make the All-Star squad. The All-Star game was played at Dodger Stadium, and who was the winning pitcher? You got it, Jerry Royce. And then remember, he couldn't answer the bell in 81 because of the bad ankle, and that was the beginning of Fernando Mania. Let's go back to this one. James Mcdonald picking up for the Dodgers. The Mariners lead 4-1. James with the Dodgers last year, you may remember. Drops that first one in for a strike to Jose Lopez. James, born in Long Beach, went to Golden West Community College. He's 6'5", 195. He'll be 25 in October. Son of a former NFL receiver, James Mcdonald. That's pulled foul. Jose Lopez has 5 straight hits. Last night he flied to right first time up. Then single in the 4th, single in the 6th, single in the 9th. Tonight, single in the 2nd, single in the 3rd. And hits one to left field, but Pierre is there. Well, that'll snap his string at 5. One away. And the batter will be Franklin Gutierrez. Gutierrez doubled in a run, hit into a force play, and made a diving catch of a little fly ball James Loney hit in the 4th inning. Line drive base hit. So Gutierrez 2 for 3, singles sharply to bring up Rob Johnson, the catcher, the man from Montana.
Catcher number 32, Rob Johnson.
The Rob Johnson followed by Ronnie Cedeno. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Mariners, 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Tomorrow, the concluding game of the series with the Mariners. Garrett Olson and Hiroki Kuroda. Last night, Kenji Jojima was the catcher. Tonight, Rob Johnson. And Martin, as Kenji, draped on the railing, takes in the ball game. Kenji from Sasebo in Japan. I think that's just about Nagasaki. One ball and no strikes to Rob Johnson. One ball and 1 strike. Eric Milden went 5, made 84 pitches, and Mcdonald picks up for him. Fouled away, 1 and 2. Just did hold up, off-speed pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, 6th inning, 4-1 in favor of the Mariners. Two and 2. Just missed with the fastball. 3-2 the count. McDonald throws hard. He hit 95. He was the minor league pitcher of the year for the Dodgers in 07 and in 08. Runner goes, fouled away at the plate. So Gutierrez back to the bag. 3-2 the count to Rob Johnson. With McDonald, you're going to get fastballs, curveballs, and a changeup. At 6'5", standing on that 10-inch mound, height is certainly an advantage for him. 3-2, so we'll see if they run Gutierrez again. James with extremely long fingers, very big hands. 3-2. Gutierrez goes, and a foul ball. Bill Franklin back to the bag. Johnson at the plate. 3-2. Those fingers just about wrapping around the ball. Somebody said once you shake his hand, you feel like he's shaking your forearm. 3-2. Gutierrez goes again, and a chopper that's foul. So Franklin Gutierrez getting in his running. As usual, Orlando Hudson had something to say to him as Johnson comes back. Orlando will have something to say to just about anybody who comes in contact with him. He had to be kidding Gutierrez, who's been going now 3-2 on 3 pitches in a row. There he goes again. And a ground ball slowly to Blake. And Casey makes the play. So 2 down. Gutierrez reaches second, and the batter will be Ronnie Cedeno. You know, you get Dodger discounts on your mobile phone all season long. Texting Dodger Ticks to 65246 throughout the year. You'll receive special offers to watch the Dodgers, and you can also customize your mobile alerts with news, game summaries, scores, and more at Dodgers.com/mobile. Cedeno has struck out and popped up. Off speed for a strike. Cedeno 0 for 5 in the series. Batting 118. Fouled away, so he's in a hole 0-2. Cedeno signed by the Cubs, but he was also in the Arizona Rookie League, and he was rated very highly. But he's had a lot of trouble hitting big league pitching. 0-2. And the troubles continue. He has also struck out now 3 times, going 0 for 6. And at the end of 5.5, Mariners 4, Dodgers 1. again. Matt Kemp making that catch, slamming into the pads and holding on to the ball. That was a ball hit early in the game by the catcher, Rob Johnson. Matt, however, with the bat, 0 for 2 tonight, striking out twice. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning with Hudson, Blake, and Ethier in that order. Hudson grounded out and had a single in the 3rd inning. A perfectly executed single to the hole at short. Strike. That's when Percall was going. Ronnie Cedeno broke his cover, and Orlando just hit it right through the vacated spot. This time to the other side to Lopez. 1 away. Felix Hernandez just sailing along. Made 81 pitches through 5 innings. Came into the game with an earned run average of 2.7, but even better than that, his earned run average on the road, 1.9. In his last 6 starts, he's had an earned run average of 1. There he is, right behind Roy Halladay and Edwin Jackson. That's a strike. 1-1. Yes, Edwin Jackson. That Edwin Jackson. On the inside corner, good off-speed pitch. 1-2 to Casey. Walk, hit that fly ball to right field. And he sure had trouble with it and was charged with an error. That's how the Dodgers got their only run. Fastball, boom. 5 strikeouts for Hernandez.
Right fielder number 16.
And with 2 out, Andre Ethier. Andre Ethier flied to right, grounded out, 0 for 2. Four runs, 8 hits for the Mariners, 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers, and that's a strike. 0-1. Shows you the ups and downs of the game. Last night, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. Tonight came up with 2 out, runners at first and third, and flied to right. Came up in the 3rd inning with runners at first and third, and grounded to first. 1-1 to Andre, with James Loney on deck. 4-1, favor the Mariners. Dodgers have not had a hit since Hudson had that hit and run single in the 3rd inning. Two and 2. Hernandez has certainly kept Johnson busy. He's bounced a lot of pitches. He has 1 wild pitch. But as we pointed out at the very start of the game, he is a power pitcher who gets a lot of ground balls. And he's had 9 ground ball outs so far. Three and 2. He has walked 1. That was Blake back in the 1st inning. And on the outside corner, strike 3 call. So that would make it 6 strikeouts for him. The side retired in order. 4-1 Mariners. And we move to the 7th inning. Felix Hernandez, then Ichiro, and Branyan. Hernandez has struck out twice. He has made 93 pitches in 6 innings, and that's a strike. One ball and one strike. Hernandez 6'3", 225. High bouncer over the mound for a call. Nice short hop and gets him. One away.
Mariners right fielder number 51.
The Mariners have had 1 hit since the 3rd inning. The Dodgers have had 1 hit since the 3rd inning, and we're now in the 7th. And here is Ichiro. Double to right, single to center, grounded to first. He has hit in 10 straight. He has had 7 straight multi-hit games. Won a Gold Glove his rookie year. He threw out 8 runners that first year and made only 1 error. And from then on, the Gold Gloves just belonged to him. Ken Griffey Jr., by the way, has 10 Gold Gloves. So there's a lot of glitter out there tonight. 1-2 the count. Ken, of course, not only with 10 Gold Gloves, but swinging a gold bat, hit home run number 620 in his career in the 3rd inning. Another thing about Ichiro, rather remarkable. He's the first player with as many as 4 50-hit months in his career since Pete Rose. And there he goes again. That's his 3rd hit tonight. So Ichiro with 3 more hits tonight. That gives him 109. And we're not out of June. He just goes down to get it. Chops it over the 6'5" Mcdonald and through into center field. Who was the last player before Ichiro to have 4 50-hit months? Pete Rose. Strike. Russell Branyan struck out twice, but tripled in a run and then rode home on Griffey's home run. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodgers will have Loney, Martin, and Kemp, and then Mcdonald spot in the bottom of the 7th. 1-1. 2-1. Branyan very aggressive, strikes out twice as many times as he walks. There goes Suzuki. Fly ball into left center, very playable. And it's Pierre. And back to first goes Ichiro. So 2 down here in the 7th inning. And the batter will be Adrian Beltre. Beltre has a look at Bruce Hines coaching at 3rd before checking in. Again, if you weren't with us, and we owe it to him, I think, to explain, Beltre is playing in pain with a very bad left shoulder and might very well have to undergo surgery here and very soon. So there was speculation that tonight could be his last game. No one knows that for sure. But he is hurting. Ichiro over there has stolen 13. Two down, seventh inning, 4-1 Mariners. Check swing, 1 ball and no strikes. Beltre again looking down to Hines. Off speed, dropped in nicely for a strike. Big rainbow curveball. 1-1. Fastball, a hopper to the hole by the diving for call. Ichiro to second and holding. So here comes Griffey with 2 on and 1 out. Remember we told you earlier about Ken Griffey Jr. having a bunch of ties made and given out to his teammates with his picture on them? Here's the tie. A white tie. There's Jr. thumbs up, and then underneath, world's greatest teammate. Jr. struck out, hit a 2-run home run, and fly to center. And a strike. 0-1. So with Griffey and Ichiro in the same lineup, a lot of glitter. Jr. talking to the plate umpire Chuck Merriweather while Ichiro waits. Griffey grew up as a little boy, of course, in the clubhouse when his dad played for the Reds. The manager was Sparky Anderson. And Junior talked about himself and other kids running rampant in the Reds clubhouse, stealing big red gum and red pop from Sparky Anderson's locker. The children of Ken Griffey and Joe Morgan, Davey Concepcion, Tony Perez, George Foster, among others. He said Sparky used to have the kids sit around, some on his knee, and he'd tell them stories. He was like the grandpa, said Griffey. And for Sparky, the rule in the clubhouse for the kids was very simple. If the Reds won, then Griffey and all his little buddies could come in the clubhouse post-game. But if the Reds lost, no dice. And then, as Junior says, fortunately for us, they won a lot. And as for that pop they used to steal from Sparky, it was cream soda. The memories of the son of a major leaguer. 0-2. 2 on, 2 out, 4-1 Mariners. And going down foul and out of play. Still 0-2 the count to Ken Griffey Jr. You may remember in July of last year, the White Sox made a deal with the Reds to acquire Griffey, and then in October of last year, they declined the option. So Jr. got quite a payout, and a drive to left center, very playable. Kemp is there. That'll be that. So no runs, 2 hits, and 2 left. And at the end of 6.5 innings, 4-1 Mariners. And then the crowd will be asked to stand and sing.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the California Lottery.
Third inning, he'll leave with a big grin on his face as Bruce Hines talks to him, along with the skipper Don Wakamatsu. Vladimir Ballantyne is now in left field, and at the plate James Loney, and he takes ball 1. Loney grounded out and flied to center, a diving catch by Gutierrez. 2-0 the count. James hitting .279, 5 home runs, 49 runs batted in. And a drive to right, hooking down the line, going into the corner, and a foul ball. 2-1 the count to Loney. Felix Hernandez, coming into the inning, had made 93 pitches. He's allowed 3 hits, 1 unearned run, and walked 1. That was Blake in the first inning. And big chopper to Lopez. So he continues to get a lot of ground balls. So he is true to form.
Catcher number 55,
And the batter will be Russell Martin. Martin grounded to third, grounded to second, 0 for 2. Hernandez not only getting the ground balls, he has also struck out 6. 0-1. Garrett Olson and Hiroki Kuroda tomorrow. Oh, and 1. Oh, not ready. Garrett Olson, a left-hander with a record of 2-2, and he'll be center stage tomorrow as Martin hits one down the right field line. Suzuki comes over, no play. No balls and 2 strikes, and you can see where Felix ready to make his 100th pitch. And he has enough to strike out Martin, and that gives him 7 strikeouts. And 2 out in the 7th. The Dodgers have not had a hit since Hudson's hit-and-run single in the 3rd inning. So Martin becomes strikeout number 7. That means Hernandez has struck out 3 of the last 4, and apparently has a lot left in the tank as he works on Matt Kemp, and he has struck Matt out twice. Ball 1. One and 1. Kemp, like Ethier, brought down to the ground tonight. You know, Matt last night had 2 singles and a triple. A little fly ball to right. Ethier on the dead run and can't make the catch. Well, it'll be a base hit for Matt Kemp. So near end yet so far for Ichiro, and now Mitch Jones will come off the bench and bat for Mcdonald. Little fly ball dunker to right. Hit number 4 for the Dodgers, right in the glove, and then when the glove hit the ground, the ball came out.
Pinch hitting, number 72, Mitch Jones.
So Mitch Jones, the veteran who is starting to feel a little more at home in the big leagues, 4 for 11, and hitting for Mcdonald. And a strike. Down in the bullpen, and if John Candelaria was down there, he'd write it again in his notebook. Guillermo Mota is up again. Oh, and 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now Johnson going out to talk to Hernandez, so timeout for the moment. Hernandez was born in April of 1986, and he was pitching in the big leagues in 2005. He was barely 19 when he made his debut. So he is an experienced 23-year-old. High fly ball to center. It's playable. Gutierrez is there. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. 7 innings in the books. And at the end of 7, it's 4-1 Mariners. Rapid Rewind.
Here looks up.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Eighth inning with Seattle holding on to a 4-1 lead, and Guillermo Mota, who appeared last night and pitched 2 innings, is brought right back tonight. So Guillermo will be the third Dodger pitcher. Milton went 5. Then you had James Mcdonald, and now here's Guillermo. Right-hander making 33 pitches last night. He'll face Lopez, Gutierrez, and Johnson. Lopez, single to right, single to center, fly to left. Check swing. They're going to look. Swing, says Laz Diaz. 0-1 the count. One ball and 1 strike. Giants lost. They were 4-4 in the ninth. They scored 2 against Trevor Hoffman, and they led the Brewers 6-4. Brian Wilson was asked to close, and instead, Milwaukee got off the floor with 3. Prince Fielder drove in the winning run, and the Brewers defeated the Giants 6-5. Brewers began the game tied with the Cardinals in the National League Central. Giants began 8 games back of the Dodgers. Foul tip, and Martin got a little bit of that, so timeout. One and 2. Shaking his head. Lopez talking to him, and Merriweather cleaning off home plate to give the catcher the extra time to recover. One and 2. Hard ground ball, fair ball, long throw, big out. Well, Casey Blake goes behind the bag and makes the long throw to get Lopez. And we have 1 out in the 8th inning. Right over the bag. And the throw is right on the money. 1 away. Nice play for Case. Franklin Gutierrez with a double and a single checks in at the plate. Hitting .263. 7 home runs, 26 runs batted in. And a strike. Gutierrez is 26. Originally signed by the Dodgers back in 2000. And drives one to left field. Back goes Pierre. It's over his head. It is off the wall. And Gutierrez steaming into second base with his 3rd hit. A double, a single, and now another double. Came so close to hitting that thing out. So Pierre trying to run it down, but it's going to hit the top of the bullpen gate. Came that close to winding up in the bullpen. So with 1 out, Gutierrez at second, and Rob Johnson 0 for 3 at the plate. Rob fly deep to center, struck out, and grounded to third. A man from Montana. Strike. 0-1 to Rob, hitting just 185. Fastball hit the right. Gutierrez there. Two down, and Ronnie Cedeno coming up.
Number 3, Ronnie Cedeno.
Cedeno is 0 for 6 in the 2 games, and he has struck out 3 times as well, with the pitcher Felix Hernandez to follow. We're in the 8th inning. The Mariners scored in the 2nd. Then they added 3 in the 3rd. Dodgers got an unearned run in the bottom of the 3rd, and that's it. Felix Hernandez has been everything you heard about him and then some. Ball 1. Lopez out on a fine play by Blake, and then Gutierrez followed with a double that was almost a home run. Now they decided to walk Cedeno, and they'll take their chances with Felix Hernandez. This intentional walk given up by the Dodgers is the only walk that Seattle has received tonight. Well, it really had only one walk, and that was the walk to Blake. This one intentionally granted, though it is a rare game indeed. Torrey, Honeycutt, and company saw Milton give up 4 runs while striking out 7 and not walking anybody.
Felix Hernandez.
And here's Felix Hernandez. 2 on, 2 out, 8th inning. 4-1 Mariners. Left-hander Brent Leach gets up now in the Dodger bullpen. Ichiro on deck. And a strike. Hernandez struck out twice and grounded to short. One ball and one strike. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 8th, they'll have Juan Pierre, Rafael Furcal, and Orlando Hudson. 1-1. 1-2. Gutierrez and Cedeno out on the lines. 1-2 the count to Hernandez. 2 out. See you later. Down he goes. So the Mariners lead 2. Mota wraps them up in the 8th, but at the end of 7.5, it's still Mariners 4, Dodgers 1. Interesting, the Mariners are leading handily, and yet they are 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. The one hit was Junior's home run with a man aboard at third in the third inning. So Juan Pierre, 0 for 3, has tried to bunt once, then for Call and Hudson. Interesting for Felix Hernandez, he has retired the leadoff man in all 7 innings. And of course, that's the #1 commandment. Gotten all of them. On his strikeouts, he has really mixed up the velocity. A roller down to Lopez, another ground ball, and another leadoff man bites the dust. 1 away.
Dodger shortstop number 15.
And the batter will be Rafael Furcal. Single to left, grounded to short, and struck out. Hernandez with 7 strikeouts. So he's really done a job. Furcal 2 for 3, hitting .243. Ball 1. Hudson on deck. Dodgers against the American League are 9 and 7. The National League against the Mariners 9 and 7. One ball and 1 strike. One and 2. Pretty good breaking ball. Talking about his strikeouts, it's interesting. The third strike has been 87, 84, 86, 84, 84, 92, and 94. So he's mixed his velocity throughout the night to record the 7 Ks. 2-2 the count. Just had a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and we're in the 8th with 1 out. Old slider in the low 80s. So Furcal takes a walk. That's 8 strikeouts for young Felix Hernandez. And the batter now will be Orlando Hudson. So we heard about Felix, and he is really putting on a show. In looking at his performances so far this year, his strikeout high is 10, and he has 8 tonight. He's had several games where he walked only 1. He had 1 game where he went 6 and didn't walk anybody. 1-1 the count. Orlando grounded out, had a hit and run single, and grounded out again. This would be the second start for Hernandez against the Dodgers. 3 years ago, the Dodgers beat him here on the 22nd of June. One and 2. And it's in there. Orlando knew it. 9 strikeouts for Felix the Cat. He is a big cat. And at the end of 8, 4-1 Mariners.
gone head-to-head for one spectacular night in the summer's biggest event, as Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2009 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 14th, live from St. Louis at 5 p.m. only on Fox. Well, Felix Hernandez looks like he's saying goodnight to his skipper Don Wakamatsu. In 8 innings, he made 117 pitches, walking 1 and striking out 9. He picked up 5 strikeouts in the last 3 innings. He just seemed to be getting stronger. Only 1 walk, and that walk was way back in the first inning. So the 23-year-old getting hugs from Jason Vargas and other members of the club. Rick Adair, the pitching coach. A 23-year-old on his way to his 8th win. Meanwhile, Brent Leach, 26 years old, and the first man he will face is Ichiro. Ichiro 3 for 4 tonight, and ball 1. So Suzuki continues to just absolutely puzzle the pitchers. No matter what they do, he puts the bat on the ball. Little pop fly and foul ground. Martin is there. Well, they get him this time. And Ichiro goes 3 for 5. He's hit in 10 straight, and he has 7 consecutive multi-hit games. One away. And Russell Branyan, the batter. Branyan struck out, tripled, struck out again, and flied to left. 1 for 4. David Aardsma is the closer, and he has 15 saves. He'll be called in to try to tie things up and take this thing back into the clubhouse for Seattle. Ball 1. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 9th, they'll have Casey Blake, Andre Ethier, and James Loney. Paid attendance tonight, another big crowd. Last night we had 50,000, 752, and a little bit more tonight. Fouled away. The paid attendance tonight, 50,847. And tomorrow afternoon, the boy from Fresno, Garrett Olson, who went to Cal Poly, he'll be going up against Hiroki Kuroda. High fly ball into deep right. Back goes Ethier, just watching this thing go out of here. So Russell Branyan comes up with a bomb to right, his 19th home run this year. He has a triple to go with it tonight, and that makes it 5-1 in favor of Seattle. So Branyan, big and strong, and hits it a towering home run. And the batter will be Adrian Beltre. Just about almost halfway up. Ball 1. Beltre flied to center, fouled out, flied to right, single to left. Branyan with his 19. At 24, a couple of times in his career when he played with the Indians and the Reds. Big Georgia boy. 2-0 the count to Adrian. Foul ball into the Dodger dugout. 2-1. Two and 2. To repeat, when the Dodgers come up in the 9th, they'll have Blake, Ethier, and Loney. If anybody gets on, mark it. They've used 2 pinch hitters, Brad Aardsma and Mitch Jones. And hit to the gap in right center. Matt Kemp trying to run it down and catches up to it. So Beltre along out to right center. And now Vladimir Valentin finishing up in left field for Ken Griffey Jr. Valentin started last night and had a rough night. Not only did he go 0 for 3, struck out all 3 times. Vladimir hitting .231. He has 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. He's from Curacao, and he hits one to deep right center. Back goes Kemp and picks it off. So Matt Kemp puts on a clinic out there in center, but he couldn't catch Brannion's drive. And we're heading to the bottom of the 9th, 5-1 Seattle. Ninth inning. David Aardsma coming out of the bullpen with 15 saves. Aardsma is the first man in the Major League dictionary. He is ahead of Henry Aaron. David is from Denver and Englewood. Spent his childhood moving back and forth between Colorado and California. His dad relocated the family in Orange County, but then they moved back to Colorado. He transferred from Penn State to Rice University. He's 6'4", 205-pounder. He'll be 28 2 days after Christmas. And Casey Blake, fastball, ball 1. Aardsma has an earned run average of 1.5. He is not allowed to run in 23 of his last 24 appearances and 31 of 34. Strike 1-1. Aardsma was originally drafted by the Giants. Casey batting .299. Walked, reached on an error, and struck out. The error was the fly ball. Ishiro had trouble with it, committing only his second error of the year, and the Dodgers got an unearned run. That's the only run, and that came way back in the 3rd inning. 1-2. With Aardsma, fastball, you get a slider. He has a knuckle curve, or as so many people refer to it, as a spike curve. He has a regular curveball and a changeup. Fastball foul back. Holding the ball as a splitter. Two and two. Got him inside corner. So that is the 10th Dodger to strike out tonight. Hernandez struck out 9. For Aardsma, with that great earned run average, his strikeout to walk ratio is 2-1. Now Andre Ethier. Fly to right, grounded to first, struck out 0 for 3. One ball and no strikes. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Garrett Olson and Hiroki Kuroda. And a drive into right center and deep. On his horse is Gutierrez to make the catch. Nice play by Franklin. That was hit hard. So Ethier goes 0 for 4. And with 2 down in the 9th inning, the batter is James Loney. The Dodgers have had 1 hit since Hudson's single in the 3rd inning. So Felix Hernandez really dominated while striking out 9 and walking 1. And now Aardsma gets 2 quick outs. And here is Loney. Grounded out. Gutierrez made a diving catch of his little fly ball in the 4th inning. And he grounded out in the 7th. And a strike. This is the 17th game for the Dodgers in interleague play. Should they lose, they'll be 9-8. And tomorrow will be the last one for Joe against Seattle. Then it'll be the National League with Colorado. Dodgers then have a big road trip after Colorado. San Diego, then 3 with the Mets, and 3 with Milwaukee before the All-Star break. Two and 1 to count to James Loney. And a hopper just inside the line. Loney rounding first and will go into second base with a double. For the Dodgers, their 5th hit. And the batter will be Russell Martin. For Loney going the other way to get the double. He has 15 doubles. Hudson leads the club. He has 22. Russell Martin grounded to third, grounded to second, struck out. And ball 1. Pierre did not strike out. Loney has not struck out. That's about it. Everybody else has gone down once. 2-0. Matt Kemp on deck. 5-1 Mariners. 2 out, 9th inning. David Aardsma. And 3-0. Aardsma came up briefly with the Giants 5 years ago. Then surfaced with the Cubs, the White Sox, the Red Sox, and now the Mariners. And there's a walk to Martin. So 2 on, 2 out, and Matt Kemp coming up. this would be a much tighter spot for Aardsma, except for that home run by Branyan in the 9th inning. Out on deck, Mark Loretta, and Rick Adair going out to counsel the pitcher. Matt Kemp struck out in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 4th inning, and then singled off the glove of Ichiro, a little fly ball in the 7th.
Matt Kemp.
Well, Matt hitting .313 with his foot in the door. 2 on, 2 out. 5-1 Mariners. Loney and Martin on the line. Right. No balls, 1 strike. In the inning, Blake struck out. Ethier a long out to right center. And then Loney doubles and Martin walks. 1-1. And ball 2. Two and 1 to Matt. Fastball hit foul. 2-2. Fastball in on the hands at 90. Loney back to 2nd. Martin returns to 1st. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, 2 on. 5-1 Mariners in the 9th. So Matt, after 3 hits last night, strikes out 3 times tonight. Ethier, after 3 home runs and 6 RBIs, he goes 0 for 4 tonight. And meanwhile, Ichiro